Hello, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Carlene.
And I'm Jay. We are also known as Jaylene.
On this channel, we recap and provide our reviews for Married at First Sight.
Today we'll be covering episode 17. This was supposed to be our new start.
Please subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. We know that this is decision day, so we're going to start off with Stacia and Nate. So Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal met with each other before meeting with each couple. Dr. Pepper is surprised that Stacia and Nate are having these problems and admit to not really paying much attention to them. So the experts admit how they were not hands-on with this season as they were in the past. Pastor Cal is concerned that the way Nate is handling his stress is out of character. Dr. Pepper hopes the couple can come back to who they were because they actually got tattoos of their wedding date on their hands. So Stacia reflected. She thought that they had immediate attraction and connection. She feels desired by her husband when he shows her physical affection. However, Stacia believes Nate lacks maturity in certain areas. Stacia says Nate can be judgmental and a hothead when he is upset. She has been practicing trust and patience, but doesn't want to be in a loveless marriage. Nate's reflection. Nate says Stacia is the woman he asked for. He likes her femininity and how people stare at them when they are out. Okay, Nate. He says Stacia is his twin fling. However, executive Stacia is never satisfied. He hopes Stacia will believe that he is committed to her. Nate fears he will not be enough for her. Nate walks up with a bouquet of flowers, but Stacia wanted Nate to hold them. Dr. Pepper tells the couple how they liked watching them in the beginning. Stacia had a list for Nate, including how the disrespect, comprehension, and mommy issues are spilling into their marriage. Stacia feels that Nate does not give her enough credit, especially regarding her parenting skills. Nate apologizes and says that he is emotionally overwhelmed and is triggered easily. Stacia states she is overwhelmed too, but doesn't act like Nate. This is the lack of maturity I think that Stacia is referring to, but everyone reacts differently to stress. Nate says Stacia needs work too. And with all that being said, they decided to stay married.
I knew Nate was going to say yes once he brought her flowers. You're not going to bring a woman flowers and then say, I want a divorce. But when Stacia was giving her list of all the negative things about Nate, I was like, then why say yes? Especially after the mommy issues, the lack of maturity, emotional immaturity. That alone, you should have just said no. Hopefully they can work it out and stay together. But after watching them and watching the rapport and the chemistry, I thought they would stay together. Not initially in the beginning of the season, just on the information that we got. But I'm happy they stayed together. Hopefully it works out for them.
So Alexis and Justin. Pastor Cal is concerned that Justin is too emotional, but Alexis is looking for an alpha. The experts knew who Justin was before they matched him. Pastor Cal said they were matched because they are two ambitious people that can make it work. He thinks Justin's sensitivity is a great balance to Alexis's strength. Alexis's reflection. Walking down the aisle, Alexis already knew Justin. She liked hugging him in the beginning and thought he was sweet. She was comfortable expressing herself. Justin reflected on how he knew he was going to fall in love with Alexis and how he likes her personality. She made him feel secure. But after that dog attack, they got off track. Then he realized that Alexis isn't attracted to him. Justin blamed Alexis for giving away his dog because he thought that was an automatic yes for her. Yet Justin doesn't regret telling Alexis that he loves her. Justin walks up with flowers, or a flower, I should say. Alexis walks up with a paper in her hand and greeted Justin with a kiss. Justin is feeling great because he had an epiphany about being in his head. Alexis appreciates Justin. Pastor Cal asks about the intimacy. Alexis was happy that he initiated, but says, we have some work to do. Alexis didn't like when Justin threw that he gave up his dog, Maya, in her face and that it should be an automatic yes. And Justin actually admitted to throwing that in her face. But with all that being said, they decided to stay married.
Yeah, when he brought her the flower, I'm like, okay, we already know he was going to say yes. Everybody named Mama know he was going to say yes. But when she kissed him, when they met, I'm like, you going to do that and then still say no? I thought that was going to be cold. But when she was given the list and all this stuff, I'm thinking, okay, she's got to say no. She's got to say no. We all know this is not going to work. It's very unhealthy. But when she said yes, I was very surprised. 'Cause that means I was wrong about my decision for them. I was very upset about that. I was like, no, this cannot be. So I was like, all right. It's going to blow up in their face sooner or later. So I was like, we'll just wait and see.
Justin said yes right away. Alexis had to read, she was reading her paper, and eventually, after all the negative things that she had to say, she said yes. Then they toast with their champagne from the winery. They knew they weren't going to use it on their 1-year anniversary because that wasn't in the cards for them. Okay, Lindy and Miguel. So Pastor Cal says their romance turned into true love. He believes their emotional intelligence made them a good match. Linda reflected on how she was crushing on Miguel at the altar and how she loves his romantic side. And Miguel remembered that Lindy is the only person that loves him like that. So Miguel doesn't like the negativity and wonders if it's going to last forever. Miguel walks up and finds out that him and Pastor Cal are matching, and then Lindy walked up. Pastor Cal says how they admired their marriage. Lindy didn't like when Miguel continued to question the marriage. Miguel says he was processing his past traumas. Lindy didn't know if she was safe or unsafe. She shared her concerns about Miguel being controlling, and Miguel really showed his controlling traits right there in the conversation. Miguel wants to hold space when Lindy is explosive. However, it does something to him. Lindy says this is her personality, and she is still hurt when Miguel refused to hug her during a couples retreat. With all that being said, they still decided to stay married.
Yeah, as soon as I saw them both wearing green, I'm like, they must have had a conversation about, all right, we're both going to say yes, so let's stop playing these games. So as soon as I saw the matching colors, because you and I, we both match when we take pictures and stuff. So like that just told me they were going to say yes. So I wasn't even worried as soon as I saw that.
Yeah, Lindy says absolutely yes. She loves him more when he is vulnerable. Miguel says he is inspired and obsessed with Lindy. Miguel was able to speak, and Lindy only interrupted him twice with crying and laughing.
Good job, Lindy.
Krysten and Mitch. Dr. Pepper is having anxiety about meeting with Krysten and Mitch. I'm guessing Dr. Pepper didn't want to have a part 2 of when she asked Mitch if he was very attracted to his wife. Pastor Cal was saying how Mitch should have never told Krysten he wasn't attracted to her. The experts think the couple has a lot going for them and has potential. The experts believe that the two are emotionally intelligent people that are secure in themselves. However, Mitch is unwilling to compromise, and Krysten has compromised too much, making the marriage unstable.
That was the main thing right there. Unwilling to compromise. Mitch, I think they said at some point during the season that he compromised. I'm trying to figure out, where did he compromise at? Because I didn't see it at all. She did most of it. That alone told me this was not going to work. They all need to say no. He shouldn't have been on the show to begin with. He just got on my nerves.
Krysten reflected how she was immediately attracted to Mitch. Krysten thinks Mitch is intense. She was happy that they didn't get stuck after the honeymoon incident. Mitch reflected on how Krysten wasn't his type, but now he feels Krysten is beautiful inside and out. He feels like he is a better person, and he has love for Krysten and Luna. Mitch understands how his honesty can be too much. Mitch walked out and says this is not an easy decision. Mitch was able to pick Krysten's dress color while she was walking out, and the experts were surprised. Krysten was over there swallowing bugs. I thought she said that she swallowed gum. Mitch shared how his actions during the honeymoon was his biggest regret. Krysten loves his love for the environment and being able to change. Mitch thinks Krysten is loyal and patient, and he thinks she is a great wife, person, and will be a great mother. Well, with all that being said, they decided to get a divorce.
The smartest thing they both ever said at all on this show. But I feel the way Krysten was looking throughout this whole entire scene, like she knew that they both were going to say no. I don't know if they had a conversation. Mitch, he said that he just made up his mind, I think, that morning. But I felt they made the right decision because they know his lifestyle. She was never going to convert into that lifestyle that he has and that he wants for his wife. So they made the correct decision. I'm glad they were both smart and intelligent in this aspect.
Yeah, Mitch was eager to share his decision, and he said that it wasn't an easy one, and he wasn't sure until last night, or the previous night. He thanked her for all she had done and how he has grown. However, he is not head over heels with her and cannot commit to her. When he says that he didn't want to stay married, Krysten seemed relieved. She hoped his commitment could have been more. She wants to choose herself, and that's why she asked for the divorce. But Pastor Cal couldn't understand why they were still holding hands. This was the first divorced couple to walk away hugged up. Let's talk about Justin and Alexis right after making their decision. So Justin was really projecting his feelings into Alexis. I think Justin was sure Alexis was going to say no, and that's why he continued pushing her. Alexis said yes to time. She wants to acknowledge the bad times, but she sees progress. They were going back and forth with quitting. He hopes they could give their marriage a full 12 months to say that they tried before quitting. Justin feels like Alexis thinks it's a privilege that she chose to be with him. Then they started arguing. Alexis says how she was having doubts, and then Justin continued to ask her if she was having doubts. Alexis says how she is a logical person, not an emotional person.
I feel Justin knew deep down that this relationship was not going to work. So I think he was self-sabotaging subconsciously, and then it just projected itself. And eventually it just got on her nerves, which it got on everybody else's nerves who was watching as well. So he messed that up. I don't know how you have a bad day after both saying yes. Like he couldn't help himself.
The couples were able to meet up after decision day. I like seeing the couples walking out to their courtyard. It looks so fun. I said this before, but this season is the first season where they had some type of group activity in almost every episode. We all knew that the couples were going to meet up to share their decisions. Also, they did most of their gatherings in the courtyard. Miguel was the food pusher on the grill. Ben and Morgan stopped by. Did anyone see how Alexis was choking on her food when Ben showed up? Stacia started out saying that she said no. Of course, no one believed her. First of all, she still had her ring on. Stacia was on the fence, but she wanted to fight for her marriage since 8 weeks is too short. Nate says he promised to stay married to Stacia. When he was dating and saw one red flag, yes, one red flag, he was out of there. However, he cannot do that because he's married. Lindy and Miguel shared how they both said yes. Lindy knew automatically that she was going to say yes, but she wasn't that confident with Miguel's decision. Lindy was happy when Miguel was happy to see her on decision day. Miguel said she looked like a princess. Alexis noticed that Krysten wasn't wearing her ring and asked her about it. Krysten thought she gave it her all, and that's why she asked for the divorce. Mitch said that they had different lifestyles. Krysten talked about leaving the door ajar. Lindy says Krysten deserves more, which is true. Alexis asked a question that just ruined Mitch's plan. Mitch just wants to be friends. Krysten, Mitch doesn't want you. It's sad that she's continuing to leave the door ajar, but he is honest because he's saying that he's not all in. She cannot change him. Let it go.
I felt that was like a little desperate on Kristen's end. When a man wants you, you'll know that he wants you. Mitch was given all the signs that he was not interested. Interested in sex, but nothing else.
Justin said how he was going to say yes, and he would have been grateful with whatever answer Alexis would have said, even if she decided to choose herself. Alexis is still processing that her husband continues to question her decision. Alexis thought that they went back to where they were 5 weeks ago. The producers asked them where they go from here. Justin wants to figure it out. Alexis doesn't want to figure it out and says she's done.
But if she's saying she's logical and not emotional, didn't she just make an emotional decision on this spot and not logical?
So when Krysten and Mitch was leaving the apartment, Krysten was trying to be nice, leaving the door ajar. Mitch didn't want to string anyone along. He was like, I'm not going to get a divorce and just ask to date. Mitch got tired of being blamed. He doesn't care about a door being closed in the future. Then he tried to offer Krysten a mug. Krysten hopes Mitch doesn't waste another good woman's time. Justin and Alexis leaving their apartment. Justin was looking through the photo album of the wedding day, and he was optimistic, but didn't know that Alexis would ask for a divorce just 12 hours after saying yes, and he felt embarrassed. Alexis apologized for her behavior when she asked for a divorce. She was embarrassed and woke up mortified. He was hurt because his fear came true with her quitting. I think Justin knew that it was going to happen, so he just kept pushing Alexis until she asked for a divorce, and she finally did. Well, that's all we have for episode 17. What are your thoughts on episode 17? We love to hear from you. Put your answers in the comments. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos.
And if you guys like drama, next week on the reunion should be some drama, apparently, which I don't believe. Nate took a pass at Justin, but that's a highlight they're spinning around on TV. So if you want to see what goes on after that, stay tuned to the reunion part 1. Other than that, later guys.
Bye.